Hi, it's Simon, and today's quick video from lockdown here in the UK. I'm doing best to smile. I'm grateful for my mum, my dad, my family, my friends have been checking in. And especially with the lockdown, the ability to actually have people to connect with, for me, has been really priceless. And I was thinking earlier today how different would have been, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, even maybe 50 years ago, if you remove the mobile phone, you remove the internet, remove the Netflix, you remove those things we take for granted of how we communicate, how we entertain ourselves, and how we educate ourselves. How rare is it today to actually have a day or a week or a month with no external stimuli? We can now draw information in seconds. In fact, overnight, maybe 50 hours of content was sent to me to review, and I had to prioritize and select what to watch through. But that wasn't the case before. And so if you think about that, it's quite interesting today. We are used to having a very stimulated life, and actually being in a space where there is no ability to do that is very distinct. And I think maybe we've lost something over the last 50, 100 years, that we just to be okay, just to walk around and be with nature in a very slow timeline. Whereas now, actually, a day and a week can be a very quick time. So yes, you might map out your campaigns for the year, you might plan ahead a year or a decade, but it's very different when you know how much is going on and how much of the connectivity is happening, both from the internet and both also how people do life and business. My family, my cousins, my friends, I've seen them move all over the world over the last 2, 3 decades. They've met friends from different cultures, they've traveled, and we get used to doing that. I love that about the life I've led, is meeting different cultures. But if you think back to how our grandparents were, they were very stagnant, very staying in one place usually. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, there was community in that village, in that town, in that location. And of course, people did travel. There were people moving and growing. But actually, generally, the population was fairly still. And now, as we're looking back to lockdown, we sort of find ourselves in that way. People aren't having little holidays all over the place, but it's not a bad thing. We start to really prioritize what's actually important. But I think we're still in that grieving cycle, in that process of learning to really accept or reject what's going on. And many of us don't even know. There's clearly people massively impacted by the health and other aspects of what's happening with the business, with life that's changed over the last few months. But also these trends have been coming up for some time. And I think what's happened is we sort of fastened and tweaked that lens, that filter on what's going to be going on and how we can choose in the future. I haven't got the answers. I'm just very present for that today, being with the variety of time zones we operate in, the variety of people we interact with, and how different life is today than how it was even 50 years ago. And what comes a decade from now, we have to go wait and see, right? But who we are in the process, I think that's for us to learn. And our expectations and assumptions about ourselves can change quite a lot. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully that was interesting. I'm going to head back on, and yeah, I'm still a bit rough and not ideally my healthy place today. So health for me is clearly a priority, and I've been saying it for some time. But how to be healthy more and more, how to stay healthy, that's the question, I think, right, for all of us as we get older, as we get wiser, supposedly from age. So I'm going to see you soon, and thank you for checking in. Bye for now.